number 5 and 6. AJ Dillon also was placed on injured reserve, meaning that he is done for the season. Some good news, though, for former Wisconsin linebacker Muma Jongmeta. He went undrafted, was picked up by the Bengals, and has now officially made their 53-man roster. Finally, in baseball, Brewers back at it tonight against the Giants. First pitch scheduled for 7:10.
When breaking news happens, ESPN Madison has it covered. Breaking news on ESPN Madison is presented by Metro Kia of Madison.
Everybody's ego takes a shot on this show.
You gotta keep your chill with Jim, Matt, and Molly.
I am savage.
So you're not special.
Jim, if we want to play this game, we can play this game.
And I'm just like, oh my God, this guy's going to swing on Jim. He's a complicated fellow. Oh.
People like me.
I don't think so.
This is Jim, Matt, and Molly. Presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN.
We're learning a lot about each other.
And when I tease, I like to deliver.
Hubba hubba.
Well, don't quote me on that.
Oh, no, it's quoted. That's safe.
Sometimes the tease is better than the delivery. I guarantee that Sean Clifford, he will be trash. Sean Clifford will never do anything of significance in the NFL.
I'm calling it. This might be the kiss of death for Anders Carlson. I believe in Anders Carlson.
It's over.
He is going to be the #1 scoring Packer next season.
I don't often give advice as far as your money, but short this.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio in downtown Madison. Alongside Molly Brown, here's Jim Rutledge.
Man, I feel good. I was right about Anders Carlson. I was right about Sean Clifford. And I didn't die of heat stroke this morning when I tried to go for a run at like 8:30. And God, it was hot then, Molly.
Why would you go for a run when it's like 90 degrees at 8 o'clock in the morning?
It wasn't quite 90. It was like 80, but felt like 102.
Well, yeah, humidity. Corn sweat. I've heard about corn sweat.
I saw corn sweat post as well. So apparently corn sweat is trendy. This is Jim, Matt, and Molly. We will talk about all the corn sweat you want to hear about. We're presented by Coors Light. If the mountains are blue, you know what to do.
And that's Crush, a Coors Light.
I thought you and Ryan were doing these together.
I mean, I thought he would maybe join in, but
well, look, there's a lot of moving pieces back here. I'm trying to figure out what corn sweat is while you guys are talking. I'm really confused.
Don't you just, like, push buttons back there?
He's like Willy Wonka back there. He's got his own chocolate factory of pleasure back there where he's just playing hotkeys and playing opens and turning down the volume and everything.
I feel like if you Google corn sweat, it's just going to come up with, like, toes with corns on them that are sweating.
Ew. Do feet sweat?
Yeah,
100%.
feet definitely. Wait, what? That's like the #1 thing that sweats is
I don't
feet.
have that.
That's why I take off my socks. As soon as I walk in the door of my house,
I figured
I'm
that
out.
was like sweat down your leg that goes into your socks.
What?
No.
I don't have really sweaty feet.
Heat escapes your feet. Why do you think like shoes smell?
So that's it. So the trade-off would be I never really have had the issue with like smelly socks or smelly shoes. I do sweat a lot on my face. Like I went for a run today. I was wearing my ESPN Madison Iron Jock hat and kind of keep the sun off me because normally I like to get the sun and not today. And so anyways, it was legitimately dripping off the brim of my hat. And I only did 3 miles, and I was slow.
I would be dead at 3 miles. So props to you.
It was embarrassingly slow. It was like a 12-minute mile pace. But I just was like, I got to do it because I was at Carbon yesterday. I didn't have Carbon for today. We're going to be out there tomorrow, but we're not at the gym, and I'm going to play basketball Thursday, Friday. So I was like, I work out Monday, Tuesday, give myself Wednesday off, do basketball Thursday, Friday, and then I can get done with it. But I did also, I can share this, gross my wife out, is I got home, and she's like, and just the way I sweat, it looked like she said it looks like I peed myself because it was like one specific area was extremely sweaty.
What color were your shorts?
Red.
Oh, whoa!
But
why?
Well, I just have red shorts to run in, and then I was wearing compression shorts underneath. I wasn't just out and about, but still, because the red shorts, the running shorts I have, kind of come with like, I guess it would be. I don't know if this is a normal running short thing. I only bought them because I saw them at the Nike outlet and they were like $8, and I was like, okay, I could use some shorts to run in. I could see. I don't wear like short runner shorts because I don't want to, but like basketball shorts are a lot to run in. And I've definitely shortened, like when you were younger, you had basketball shorts were like over your knees, and like that's a lot to run in. So even if you go like above your knee basketball shorts, it's still a lot to run in. They're kind of like baggier and they flop around everywhere. And so the shorts.
Okay.
And so the new ones, the running short ones I have, they have like a mesh it's like a swimsuit on the inside.
Oh, yeah.
But it's like a tight mesh. I'm assuming it's for support, and but I still wear the support in addition to the running support. So maybe that's why I was extra sweaty.
Do you feel like refreshed though? Like, after you sit in a sauna?
No.
How you're like, oh.
There was a hot
I sweated out the toxins.
where I was like, I might have to call my wife because maybe I'm going to die. Because, you're pushing yourself, and then it was like up a hill, and it was on the sun, and I was like, you know what? I'm not feeling great. That's why I found that book for you, Molly. I stopped. I was like, you know what? There's a little free book stand over here. Someone rudely just looked like they jammed like 30 books into it, so it was an abject disaster. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to cool off here. I'm going to organize these books. And then I saw one for any of your children, whether it's the twins on the way or your 2-year-old. Mm-hmm. Any of the book would apply. And then I got one for my daughter that's like more about, I think it's level 3 or level 4 reading book. So,
there you go.
Learn to read. So it worked out. But it was not my most athletic day.
There you go. Dave in Deerfield says, Corn Sweat is a great... Corn Sweat is a great band. I think they opened for Pearl Jam in Berlin in 2013. I do not know. Fact check that, Ryan, please.
That seems sarcastic.
That might end up being the bumps for the rest of the day. Corn Sweat. If it's a real band, I'm looking into it.
Alrighty.
He also typed it as Corn Sweet. I think that's why I stumbled. I'm going to blame my inability to read on...
So Corn Sweet would make sense that is a...
He says Corn Sweet is a great band, but then when I Google it, it comes up with like the Sweet Corn Festival Entertainment Band. So I don't know if this is real. There's also Corn with a K, but...
Oh, God. That band.
We should just play Corn the whole time just to piss Jim off.
I think it would piss everyone off. Do you like Corn?
I do like Corn.
All right.
Judgmental Jim.
I actually don't know if I know any Corn songs. I think I get Corn, again, I don't live in my basement, but I think I get Corn and Meatloaf confused. And I don't mean that because of food.
They are not remotely close.
I just remember flipping through like my dad's binder of CDs on road trips. Did
he organize them by like food groups or what?
Maybe by the pyramids.
Yeah, by or band names. Like these ones are named after food.
Grains.
He's a huge
proteins,
cake fan. Yeah.
Fats. No, I don't know. I just feel like I remember seeing the Corn with the backwards K, right? Because it's backwards K, and there was like Meatloaf in there.
Yep. Meatloaf is basically glam rock. I enjoy Meatloaf. I actually bought an old Meatloaf record. I do enjoy Meatloaf, the food.
I love Meatloaf. Now I want
the
Meatloaf.
name it leaves a lot to be desired. It's kind of like computer, where it's like it computes. Like we put no thought into it. Computer, what's it do? It computes.
Take that.
Meatloaf. What is it? It's a loaf of meat. Like it's just what it is.
I think I saw Corn. Oh, because he's the guy that wears like the Adidas jumpsuits, right? I
Does he
saw
have
him.
dreads as well?
Yeah, I think he was on Pimp My Ride.
With Exhibit?
Yeah, I'm gonna Google it.
I like Exhibit. But anyways, Meatloaf is more glam rock, and he was, I think, at his biggest height of fame, late 70s, early 80s. Korn, I feel like it was late 90s, early 2000s. And they were nowhere close to as popular as Meatloaf would have been.
I don't know. Do I know any Korn songs, Ryan? Would I know any Korn songs? I don't know.
According to Reddit, It's On or Seed would be the two best Korn songs. That's Korn with a backwards K. Freak on a Leash is also up there.
That one I've heard.
I tried looking that up to see if we could play it as a bump, but I had looked up clean version, as I always do to be safe. The original version has like 350 million views. The clean version has about 100,000, which makes me think the clean version wouldn't sound great.
Oh, there's the Korn guy. I don't know if this is up on our...
Not yet.
I don't think
yet.
so.
So anyways,
Korn
on our
guy.
screen.
Have you ever gone to like a Korn festival?
I think I went to Sun Prairie Corn Fest once.
Is that just like you go around and there's different types of corn to consume?
No, it's a fest. Like they're just naming it. It's like how Oregon had, the little community they call it Summerfest. Middleton's got whatever the heck they just had last weekend. Verona's got Family Fest. Like it's all just like some carnies, some corn,
Carnies and corn.
probably a cream puff. They're all like micro. They're not even county fair. They're like micro, like city fairs, basically.
So I saw signs in Sun Prairie for Apple Fest. Is that something I should go to?
Never heard of it.
Oh, okay.
I'm not saying you shouldn't. I'm saying that like if you want to get your apple on, there's some good like I would imagine just like go to like an apple. Have you gone apple picking before?
I have, but not for years. So I'm wondering if my son is like a good age because he can just run around then, and then we can like go have fun and do it.
The place I go, it's I think in Brooklyn, Wisconsin. Plenty of room to run around. Yeah, I think it's actually not a bad it's a fun time, way to kill. You got kids, you just got to kill a few hours sporadically. Like, it's just like,
Get them tired.
Right, yeah. You just got to get something to get through the day. Let's go do this. Can't just sit around here all day. So, with that, though, you just end up with too many apples is the big issue. It's kind of like going to Costco, but you're picking out apples instead. To tie it back to yesterday's show, you can listen back, Wisconsin on the Man, Apple, Spotify, and those great places. Brought to you by our good friends at Revive Restoration. Meatloaf, though, before we get to the Packers cuts today, I'd do anything for love. Have you heard that song before?
Yes.
All right.
That used to be on a commercial, too.
2 out of 3 ain't bad.
No.
It's like, I love you, I need you. I need you, I want you, but I can never love you. Like, that's kind of like the hook of the song. You might know that one if you heard it.
Okay.
The other one would be Paradise by the Dashboard Light, where that one is like, baby, baby, let me sleep on it. It's two people trying to hook up in the back of a car, and they're having a conversation back and forth, but they play play-by-play. They do like, he's going to first, he's trying to get to second. Oh, he got stopped at second, it goes to third, and like that's the trope of the song, and it's like a 10-minute song. Yeah. You probably have heard like the shortened version of it.
Should our bump backs be, for today, be like only bands that are food names?
So Cake, Meatloaf, Corn.
Cake is a band?
Yeah.
News to me.
You didn't
With
know
a K or with a C?
C.
Why is that just a thing?
I don't know.
Every band?
With a backward K.
I don't know their most popular song. What is Cake's biggest hit? Oh, The Distance. You know that song. It's going the distance. Like, you probably heard it at a rock, or like at a sporting event. It's going the distance.
I don't know. Ryan, play that one.
You can chime in with
Add it to the
other
list.
food-related bands. We have Cake, we have Meatloaf, we have Corn. Can we build out a Thanksgiving dinner and on of
Ooh,
the
is there like a
pumpkin
mashed
pie?
potato?
I was gonna say, is there a pumpkin
There's a
pie
song.
band?
Turkey?
There's a dance mashed potato.
Mashed potato, mashed potato. What? Do you
No.
watch The Wiggles?
No, there's a song that goes, I can mash potato, I can do the twist. So mashed potato is a dance move.
Oh.
So tell me, baby, do you like it like this? Like that song. Tell me, do you love me? Do you love me? You don't know that song?
No.
All right. Anyways, that's the end of karaoke hour here on Jim, Matt, and Molly. Packers.
Red Hot Chili Peppers.
There you go. It's a good one. The Packers may have ended the career, or at least the Packers' career, of AJ Dillon as he's placed on IR. He is out for the season. They ended the hopes and dreams of the Anders Carlson fan club, Matt Hamilton. You can add him to the graveyard.
Was he the only
Yes,
fan in the
yes,
fan club?
Yes. President and member. Not only was he the president, he's a member. And only member.
I'm a nut.
Amari Rogers and Anders Carlson are in the Matt Hamilton graveyard.
Yeah.
There's probably more. We'll have to think back into who Matt has buried with his support. What Grant Dubose was cut today. That's kind of interesting. Obviously, Sean Clifford moved to the practice squad. That's fascinating to me because I can't imagine anyone wanting that old washed quarterback who had an undrafted grade. Like, honestly, that to me is like Goody trying to save face, and maybe our 5th rounder can be on the P squad. And then Pratt, we'll see what happens. Not Kevin King. What's the guy from Penn State that they let go of that everyone loves? Who's a good player. I actually do think Kalen King from Penn State was cut. And hopefully, if you're a Packers fan, he kicks on over to the practice squad. I do think he is someone with some potential. Royce Newman is a name that was let go that I think some Packer fans would know of. Samara Toure is another one that was let go. So there are some names in here that were let go that are not completely shocking, but at the same time, a little bit shocking. I think the biggest one here is the biggest news of the day is AJ Dillon going on IR. And, Molly, you said this earlier, so I'll kind of let you go with it. But there was a hot little bit of time there when the Packers were loaded at running back when they had Josh Jacobs and Aaron Jones.
Those were the best, 10 seconds of my life. I think, Ryan, you said they were on the same team for 3 hours, which it felt
According
like it was
to
10
Tom
seconds.
Pelissero, they were on the same
That's why
team
it was
for
a
3
great
hours.
10 seconds. It felt like 3 hours.
There you go. I just wonder what is going through Brian Gutekunst's mind right now if he is just thinking, damn. Like, is Aaron Jones the one that got away? Is that going to be the biggest regret of the season? Losing Aaron Jones to the Minnesota Vikings? And not even that it's the Vikings, like to any team, but the fact that he let him go when the Vikings only paid him a little bit more money and they could have coughed up that little extra money.
Look, it's
huge.
It is. It seems like a pretty big mistake because the whole selling point of bringing in Josh Jacobs was that we're going to not overload him like he was with Oakland/Vegas, because Jacobs had more carries in his career, which is shorter seasons, than Jones had with the Packers. I think even if you included touches, he had more touches overall than Aaron Jones did in less years. He was a very heavily worked player. And the idea was, hey, we'll bring in AJ Dillon. We'll bring back, AJ Dillon. We'll bring in Marshawn Lloyd. We have Emmanuel Wilson and Josh Jacobs, and all of them will share time. But they could have swung it. They could have figured out a way to keep Jones and Jacobs, or they at least should have explored it a little bit more. And now Jones is with Minnesota. The Packers could have had one of the most dynamic backfields in the NFL, and they didn't really flesh it out to see what it would look like. 844-770-3776. You know, we could put that together one hell of a set list here. So we have Tim in Oregon chiming in with Jelly Roll, Marshmallow, Cream, which is their Clapton band from the 70s. I don't know who Brett is. Salt and Pepper. I mean, Tyler obviously bringing it. Blind Melon. I'll allow it, Tyler. And Black Eyed Peas as well from Tyler. Brandon in Tulsa says with the loss of AJ Dillon, he's putting that on Matt Hamilton too. Is that also because Hamilton was riding or dying with Dillon as well? Matt can't let anything go. Like, it's just like Sean Clifford. Oh, you're being too mean to him. No, I was right when Sean, a long time before the season started last year, when I said Sean Clifford's career in the NFL would amount to Bupkis. Bupkis might have been too kind. But Sean Clifford is going to just float away. As I believe Nate Tice said yesterday, it was kind of a camp body that most people saw Sean Clifford in the draft. Honestly, the comp I think that Packer fans can wrap their brain around for Sean Clifford is Joel Stavey. Like, he was kind of Penn State's Joel Stavey. That nobody, like, Joel Stavey was a nice college quarterback. He looked the part. He was big, but he wasn't an NFL QB. And he got a little cup of coffee, and he was kind of a camp body, and as Nate Tice said, wash your hands of it and move on. And that's kind of the scouting report on Sean Clifford. Packers won't seem to let that part go.
Yep, Brandon in Tulsa said, Matt kept talking about AJ being in the best shape of his life. With the loss of AJ Dillon today.
Also, I would like to point out, I was right on Carlson, Clifford, and that the best shape of life is death.
I mean, it's not rocket science, though, to figure out that AJ Dillon very well wasn't going to be on this team. But also, he's still on the damn team. He's just injured, and he's out for the season.
Like, on a one-year deal, he's done.
No, he for sure is. I'm not an AJ Dillon proponent by any means. I'm just saying he's still on the team, but it wasn't that difficult to say, yeah, you got to be in the best shape of your life to be able to make this team. And look, you're still in the best shape of your life, and you still stink.
Will he still be in the best shape of his life after the season?
It feels mean to say that he might not be, considering it's a neck injury, right?
It's a stinger injury. I don't think they've actually said what it is.
That could be career-ending.
It could be. Though it could also just be.
I thought it was released that it was a neck injury.
It's a neck injury, but they haven't specified what sort of neck injury. It's not sure if it's like a spinal injury or something like that. Knock on wood, it's not.
Brandon Tulsa also adds to the Hamilton kiss of death. Rodgers. Oh, never mind. I was thinking the other Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers.
It feels a little bit, and I can't obviously prove this, but it seems to happen where there are fringe roster guys who get hurt who have been on the team, and they're like, we'll just IR you and we'll call it a year. Like, you know what? You'll get your money.
I was going to ask, do you still get paid? How does that work? Because he's getting paid, what, $1 million this year?
I believe he doesn't make as much money as he would have if he was still rostered, but he made whatever guaranteed money up front that he had, I believe.
Do they just pay him the full thing because they feel bad?
Because you're injured, or is an injury settlement?
The injury, I think, comes the NFL pays him some sort of insurance type policy. It's from the team, also from the league.
Interesting.
We also just look it up. 844-770-3776 is how you get into the show. Tomorrow we're going to be at Carbon World Health. Me and Molly will be there. I'm showing off my tattoo, so you can come out and see it. They have a lot of great specials going on. Ask about semaglutide, hormone optimization. They have cryotherapy at their West Side location. They have plenty of great things at their new location in Sun Prairie. Come see Jim, Matt, and Molly out at Carbon World Health tomorrow. This is Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light.
You're listening to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN, ESPN Madison on YouTube, and Wisconsin On Demand.
I'm Sawyer. And I'm Shannon. Together, we're Twin Stunts, the only twin motorcycle freestyle show in the world. We are born and raised in Wisconsin, so we want all our fellow cheeseheads to know that even though we clutch it up, hit 12, and drift in our show, we would never do it on the open road. And there's another thing we would never do on the road. Drive drunk. Drive sober or get pulled over. Together, we can save lives. Learn more at zeroinwisconsin.gov. Wisconsin DOT.
From color-changing alexandrite to shimmering zircon and everything in between at Chalmers Jewelers, you'll find high-quality, affordable, one-of-a-kind pieces. We source straight from the gem cutters, and we manufacture in-house from start to finish. As the manufacturer, we believe in truth in pricing. Never pay more for quality and stunning, beautiful jewelry. She's one of a kind, and so should her jewelry be. While others may send your jewelry dreams to someone else to make, with us, your dreams become reality with the help of our custom jewelers, with you involved the whole way. With a staff that has over 200 years of combined experience, why buy from a place that marks up jewelry made by the thousands? When you can buy direct from Chalmers for that one-of-a-kind piece that is better quality, often for less.
Chalmers Jewelers in Middleton
And Madison.
Your Honda gets you everywhere. When it needs service, you need Zimbrick Honda service. Their customer service is second to none, and you can experience it yourself at 2 convenient Madison locations on Fish Hatchery Road and Grand Canyon Drive. Honda certified technicians handle it all. You can even get flexible payment options. Fix your car now and pay later. Apply online to see your options in seconds with no hard credit check. Make your service appointment online at ZimbrickHonda.com. Zimbrick Honda Service Center on Fish Hatchery Road and Grand Canyon Drive. Part of the Madison community since 1973. Shop Zimbrick Honda.
Forward Madison FC's professional soccer season is underway, and they want you to pack out Breeze Stevens Field. Need a night out with the whole family? Try the Forward Madison Family Special presented by MG&E. Score a ticket to the match, a meal, and an FMFC scarf, all for just $25 per person. Visit ForwardMadisonFC.com to purchase your tickets today. That's ForwardMadisonFC.com. Forward Madison, fun for all.
Pizza Hut just changed the combo game with the new My Hut Box. Get your choice of a 2-topping personal pan pizza, a half melt or a full melt, and your choice of either boneless wings or fries. It's the ultimate solo meal starting at only $6.99. Craving pizza and wings? You got it. Want melts and fries? You got it. Because this meal is all about you. Perfect for a speedy lunch, a relaxing dinner for one, or anytime you're on the go. Head to pizzahut.com to order your My Hut Box today. That's pizzahut.com. No one out pizzas the Hut.
The host might be irrelevant, but the conversations aren't.
Cowbell. Is that what you said, Joshy? Cowbell? Bell cow? It's cowbell.
Mr. Irrelevant with Alex Strofe, presented by Door County Distillery.
A bell cow is literally a cow that wears a bell? Yeah. Oh, wow.
Mr. Irrelevant with Alex Strofe, presented by Door County Distillery. Live on ESPN Madison's YouTube every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and available wherever you get your podcasts. Tune into Jim, Matt, and Molly every Friday for Fish Friday. Brought to you by Off-Broadway Draft House, Madison's favorite spot for a Friday fish fry.
Do you not know this song, Molly Brown?
Wait, is this the same song? It just like totally transitioned.
Yeah. It's like
you
a
clicked your
10-minute song.
button and it changed.
I didn't touch anything. It's an 8.5-minute song, but yeah, there's it's like 4 interludes in this one song.
Do you
This
know this
feels
song,
like,
Matt Hamilton, Ryan Warsheim?
Matt Hamilton.
Matt Ryan, do you know this song?
Your
Matt
favorite
Ryan
show.
was on Hard Knocks. I finally caught up on last week's
Matt
episode.
Ryan was on Hard Knocks?
Yeah, he's boys with Ryan Poles. They went to Boston College together. Poles was his offensive lineman.
Okay, I haven't watched Hard Knocks yet this season. I need to. This feels very like
So listen to this right here. Hold on. So this,
I get it. Getting on different bases.
Yes, but it's an actual play-by-play call. It's actually pretty good. All right, go ahead, though.
It feels like Bohemian Rhapsody with like Queen.
Yeah.
How it goes
It's a
between like
similar-
different songs and.
I call Queen glam rock as well.
Okay.
I don't know if that's correct, but that's how I classify them.
I think that's right.
And then I
not the
think
right
Meatloaf
person.
is more glam rock as well.
You wouldn't guess by his name.
And it's called Bad Outta Hell as his 2 albums.
Interesting.
Dylan from Sun Prairie said, "Quote: Cake is a band? ? I'm turning the show off. Thanks for listening.
See? Wait, crack it up. This is the part that gets really good.
Crack it up.
Crank it up.
This is so weird.
It reminds me a little bit of, what's that musical? Feed Me Seymour. The plant. God, what is it?
Sesame Street?
No,
Yeah,
it's...
that's what I'm thinking.
I want cookies.
No, that's Cookie Monster.
Okay.
This is Feed Me Seymour. It's Little Shop of Horrors. Also
Hold
very... Or Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Oh, okay.
Like very glam vamp, if you will.
I know
believe it's
Rocky Horror Picture Show. I don't know the other
This
one.
song could fit in Rocky Horror Picture Show. And I would say the Little Shop of Horrors is like a cousin of Rocky Horror Picture Show. Like the kind of campy. That's a good one.
Again. I had to learn that song in 5th grade.
That is neat.
Oh, I feel like people lose their mind now if they sing songs from Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Oh, really? I have no idea. Was I not supposed to say that
No,
song?
no, I love it. I think it's fine. I'm just saying that I think if people lose their collective minds, because everyone gets mad about everything now. So they would be definitely mad about people singing songs from Rocky Horror Picture Show. 844-770-3776 is how you get into the show. What's the news of today that surprised you the most? That Molly didn't know who Cake was. No. This is Jim, Matt, and Molly. We are presented by Coors Light, live from the Everlight Solar Studio. Matt is in Holland. I talked to Matt today.
Holland?
Isn't that where he is?
Norway. Are they different
Here's
places?
the funnier part.
Same
I
difference?
asked him today, how's Holland? And he said, good.
Wait.
Well, he
I'm
was
gonna
in
Google map
Holland
it.
at one point, right? Is Amsterdam in Holland or is that in Germany?
No, that's in Amsterdam. I learned it from Real Housewives.
Amsterdam's in Amsterdam.
Yeah, there you go. New York, New
Not
York.
in Germany.
No, I know he's in Norway. They're basically right next to each other. Yeah, it's all part of like Europe. It's kind of like the East Coast. It's all like on top of each other.
Holland is in the Netherlands.
Neverland? With Peter Pan?
I said the Netherlands,
No, I was
not the
asking.
Neverland. I don't know how to read a map. I got a map made of where Matt is. We can look on a map.
You want to look on the map? Does that have every country labeled? That
No.
I
map?
feel like that map it's just Matt's giant head looming over
Correct.
the same region that we're talking about. Anyways, he's somewhere where we assume it's cold all the time. He's basically, if you ever seen Frozen, he's there. Like that's what I imagine Norway or Holland
See, that's what I thought too.
looks like. Switzerland, all the same. It's just all frozen.
Sure.
That's what it looks like. I don't know.
But
Minnesota and Wisconsin, basically same thing.
Right.
Yeah, pretty much. I did learn from our friend G when he joined the show. I don't know whenever that was on whatever you guys took all the day off last week, Friday. I don't know when it was. But he taught me about fjords in Norway.
Is that like the water thing?
Yeah. So it's not all just like snowy and whatever. Because I was like, who wants to go to Norway? But then after seeing pictures, I'm like, I want to go to Norway.
Yeah, my wife watched something with Zac Efron where he kind of toured and went to different things around the world. He did ayahuasca in one of them, and then he did go to the fjords or whatever you call it in Norway or Holland or wherever. But yeah, it did look very nice. I would say, anyways, I talked to Matt. I feel like that's the land of Carlson's forefather. So I asked Matt to cut a video for us tomorrow sharing his feelings about Anders Carlson being cut. So what is the most surprising news for you today? That Sean Clifford was cut? Or actually, how do we want to word that one? That Michael Pratt didn't get to the practice squad? Is that more surprising?
Well, Michael Pratt could still be on the practice squad.
Okay, so how do we want to word the Clifford one?
What was the most surprising roster move by the Packers today? Michael Pratt, Sean Clifford, AJ Dillon.
And then Carlson.
And Carlson, there.
Yeah, okay, we'll go with that. Carlson, Pratt, Clifford, Dillon, 844-770-3776. What was the most surprising roster move for the Green Bay Packers today? We can show on that 844-770-3776. I will say, you know what? I do want to talk a little bit about the Packers. Like, I really think that Goody, it's not a major error, but he screwed up the Clifford pick. He screwed up the Carlson's pick, especially when you talk about the opportunity lost there. Like a 5th-round pick, your starting left tackle is a 7th-round pick. Now, again, this isn't like, how dare Goody like screw all this stuff up. But you took a lot of heat by saying he was like maybe you give him a C right now, you want to see a little bit more. And maybe that's a little bit low, but my point being, and I think yours was that like he's not infallible. Like missing on a 5th round pick, there are plenty of 5th round picks who are good contributing NFL players. And for the Packers, a team that is trying to make a playoff run this year, a 5th round pick on the team that would be playing would be more useful than what Sean Clifford turned out to be.
Well, I feel like it's always an off-season topic that we get into is looking at Judy.
Judy? I'm Judy.
We always look at Goody's draft picks, right? Like, this is always a topic, and we always rate, what kind of GM is he? How good has he been in the draft? Doesn't this lower it? Like, for sure, right? Like, for what you're saying is the person that he could have gotten for a 5th-round pick, he didn't get because he got Carlson or whatever.
Yeah.
Like,
not
Carlson,
yeah.
it was Clifford.
Yeah.
No, new as a C. But it has to lower it. You can't look at it and be like, oh, you wasted a 5th-round pick, and I'm just going to continue raising the bar with you.
Right. And I will say, like, I do to compliment. So I'm not saying that all the moves are bad or let's just pile on the negative. I love the flyer of a 7th-round pick on Malik Willis. You talked about it. Was he a 3rd-rounder? Mm-hmm. Like, that's a good trade-off. That's a good flyer. You have something more to develop in Willis. I don't know what he'll turn out to be, but as Nate Tight said yesterday, you're kind of screwed anyways. There wasn't, I mean, if Jordan Love was a more injury-prone guy, maybe you bring in like Tannehill, but you got to assume that Love will finish the season or will play the majority of the snaps for the season, and so you don't need to invest monetarily in a backup like Tannehill. If you had he's built a way like Brock Purdy, maybe you have to invest a little bit more. He's more of a slight QB. There could be different QBs with injury histories or other things where you might want to invest a little bit more if they're older. That's not the case right now with Jordan Love. So the idea of drafting someone or getting someone like Willis is a good move. We did have people chiming in. Robin Madison said Kalen King was surprising to him. Anthony Johnson Jr. was surprising to Chris and Middleton. So, again, 844-770-3776. What roster move made today surprised you for the Green Bay Packers? Of note, I would say, and Ryan or Molly, please feel free to hop in on this, but I would say Sean Clifford, Grant Dubose, Anders Carlson, Anthony Johnson Jr., Kalen King,
James Esther,
Samari Torre, and Royce Newman are probably the most notable cuts out there that could surprise some people. We're going to be joined by Jon Arias next. This is Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light.
This is Jim, Matt, and Molly.
Ryan is absolutely right. I am savage.
We're learning a lot about each other. This is good to know. This is good stuff to know.
Presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN and the ESPN Madison YouTube channel.
Step into nostalgia with the Miller High Life Dive Bar of the Week. Listen to Jim, Matt, and Molly every Thursday to find out where you can enjoy $2 Miller High Lifes. To celebrate our love for dive bars, we are going to tell you about some of our favorites, featuring one extra special dive bar that will have $2 High Lifes on special for the week. Taste the champagne of beer in its natural environment. A delightfully different dive bar in Wisconsin like Hooterville, Jerry's Place, Remington's Tavern, and Wilson's Bar and Grill.
When it comes to security for your home and family, you want a winner, and we found one when we placed our trust with J&K Security Solutions. This is Greg Gard. Kim and Jeff hit the game-winning shot for us with the Control 4 home technology system. Home or away, from our smartphones, we can open the garage door, dim the lights, turn on the TV, as well as arm the security system. That's convenience as well as peace of mind. Let J&K Security Solutions do for your home or business like they've done for us. Call 255-5799 or online at jksecurity.com.
Matt Hamilton here to tell you about my friends at Revive Restoration. Nobody plans for accidents to happen, but when they do, you can count on Revive to be professional, efficient, and detail-oriented as they make things right again. Revive Restoration.
So what's better than a Packers win? Celebrating a Packers win behind the wheel of a newly redesigned 2024 Chevy Traverse C71. Yeah, that's better. And right now at Quick Trip, for every $1 you spend with Quick Rewards, you'll earn a Fan Zone point to spend in the Packers Zone. Then with your Quick Rewards app, spend points for your chance to win prizes throughout the season, like a Chevy Traverse C71. Kick off your winning season with Quick Trip and your Green Bay Packers. See QuickTrip.com/fanzone for details.
The Jones family has its rules, just like any other family. Only difference is, ours are about making the best tasting, highest quality breakfast sausage you can buy. One of our rules, we only use all natural ingredients. It's a mandate we've followed since the 1840s, and we'll continue to do so for generations to come, right here in Fort Atkinson. I'm Philip Jones. To learn more about the rules that make sure my family provides your family with the best tasting, highest quality breakfast sausage, visit jonesdairyfarm.com.
Hey, Badger fans, fall is right around the corner, and so is the return of Badger football. Experience the excitement of Friday Night Lights at Camp Randall Stadium on August 30th as the Badgers take on Western Michigan. Individual tickets start at just $35, with all-inclusive group packages still available. Visit uwbadgers.com or call 1-800-GO-BADGERS to secure your seats for the Friday night home opener of Wisconsin football on August 30th. That's uwbadgers.com or 1-800-GO-BADGERS.
Summer is winding down, so that means it's back-to-school savings time at Metro Kia Madison. Lease the 2025 Kia Seltos for only $249 per month for 36 months with $3,499 due at signing. Enjoy 90 days deferred payments to qualified credit and offers, and even get an additional $1,000 for your trade into qualified vehicles and offers. With 95 vehicles on the lot, you can find the new Kia of your dreams today at Metro Kia of Madison.
Have you been waiting to buy your next home? Stop. Now is the time to get housed. What's up, Madison? It's Stacy from Bruner Realty. Nobody has a crystal ball to know what the future holds. The longer you wait to find your next home, the better the chance you'll be paying more for it than you would be today. Don't miss out on what could be the best opportunity to find your dream home. Contact our team at BrunerRealtyInc.com to help start your search. That's BrunerRealtyInc.com. Let's get housed.
Hey, it's UW Professor Hannibal Burris. You're listening to Jim, Matt, and Molly on 100.5 ESPN.
I was trying to figure out which food-based band name this was. This Red Hot Chili
This is
Peppers.
the easiest one.
Right, but it's honestly like corn and cake could overlap this version of Red Hot Chili Peppers with the way they sing. It's kind of guitar and whatever. This is not my, none of these are really my lane for music. I really wouldn't listen to corn. There's a few Red Hot Chili Pepper songs I enjoy. I know the song Going the Distance from Cake, but none of these are really my cup of tea.
Black Eyed Peas? No?
No.
Oh,
No.
come on.
They're fine. I mean, like, they're fine. Yeah.
You didn't get it, did
You
you?
really
did.
Okay.
killed that. Nailed it.
Killed it in a good way.
You know what? We can ask Jon Arias that right now. John, are you a fan of Black Eyed Peas? What was it? Black Eyed Peas, corn, meatloaf, salt and pepper, cake. These are the important questions we need to ask before the Badgers' big matchup against Louisville tonight. That'll be on ESPN Madison, and you also can watch it on ESPN too. But John, are you a fan of any of those teams, or not teams, bands?
Yeah, I would say so. But to think that the Red Hot Chili Peppers was corn coming back from the break. No, corn is more heavy, man. I used to be like not into corn, but I had their CD back in the day, early 2000s or whatever that was. Freak on a Leash, I think it was called. So I've actually voted for Red Hot Chili Peppers, though.
Okay, I can't believe, and I didn't get a chance to give Ryan heck for it off the air. Meatloaf, how do you leave Meatloaf off of it? I feel like he might be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, that's just a miss by my generation. Molly, do you really listen to Meatloaf? Do you have much familiarity?
Do I listen to Meatloaf? I said I found it in my dad's like CD binder in the car.
That's what I'm saying.
That's
like
it.
people on
And then he was on like a Swiffer commercial or a Cookies commercial a couple of years ago.
In Fight Club.
Oh yeah, he is.
He's in Fight Club.
He's the guy with
yeah.
He needs a man's ear.
Does he have a ponytail?
I'm sure he's had a ponytail at times. As John, while Molly looks up to see if Meatloaf had a ponytail, this is a heck of a way for volleyball to start tonight. Obviously, they had the exhibition game, but coming in hot, taking on Louisville right away. I mean, this is a pretty exciting way to start their season.
I think if they take 2 out of the first 3 sets, 2 out of 3 ain't bad.
Yeah, there you go. I like the Meatloaf reference.
Yeah. No, but this season, talk about starting off with a bang, right? I mean, not only here tonight, but next week at Fiserv against the defending champs and the team that beat you in the national semis and the number 1 team in the preseason, Texas, and then you get number 5 Stanford. So they are going to be tested right away, which is, I think, fine, which is good. You learn a lot more about your team if you take on elite competition that you may need to face later on in the season than if you do have kind of a cupcake type of non-conference. And there's some questions to be answered, mainly, how does the freshman setter, Charlie Furbringer, kind of fit into this equation, and how does she handle this? And the other thing, too, is these newcomers, there's a lot of newcomers on this team. I believe there's 8 newcomers on the team. But these newcomers, a lot of them have never played in front of the crowds that they're going to be playing like in front of Fiserv Forum next week, here tonight at the KFC Yum Center, every single match at the UW Fieldhouse with 7,000 plus. So this is an early season test for them as well. I was talking with associate head coach Brittany Dildine just a while ago, and she's saying, we want to see how they respond in that moment when they're in front of that. Do they kind of cave? And if they do, how do we get them better at that? And how do they, if they do excel, even better? So I think it's definitely going to be a test. But I like the way that you start off with that type of competition. I really like the way that sets the tone for the season.
What is the environment like in Louisville for this game? Because I'm looking at the KFC Yum Center. Great name, by the way. But I'm looking it up, and it looks like it's a pretty good-size arena. Are you expecting it to be full? Like, what is it feeling like there?
I've asked around, and the number I've gotten is between 6,000 and 9,000. So it seats 22,000. I know the upper deck has been kind of curtained off. Sometimes you'll see that around arenas, basketball arenas around the country. They'll curtain off a top row, sometimes at women's basketball games or whatnot. But it's going to be around 6,000 to 9,000. I think they're fighting a couple of things, mainly, the day of the week. This is Tuesday? Yeah. It's a Tuesday. And, I think it's harder to recruit people to get out on a Tuesday night that may have to travel to watch their teams, as opposed to if it was a weekend, perhaps the weekend that Fiserv matches are. So I think they're fighting that. That's going to be the biggest thing. But, Kentucky's here, Louisville's here. From a Wisconsin fan perspective, they don't have any excuses. You've got 2 Kentucky teams in this thing. Bring your fans out.
That's a great point. And you referenced earlier a lot of newer players to the team, talking to Jon Arias, Badger Volleyball play-by-play, and that'll be on tonight here on ESPN Madison, the new home of Badger Volleyball. I see that Carter Booth is kind of the featured, at least for volleyball, their post today on social. We know Devin Robinson well, Anna Schmeck. There are some vets on this team, and obviously there's more than just I listed there. They, I would imagine, are going to have a heavy load of just making sure that everyone can blend in and not get overwhelmed by the moment.
That's exactly right. You nailed it, Ben. That's exactly what associate head coach Brittany Dildine told me as well not too long ago, is they're going to rely on those veteran players, Sarah Franklin, Anna Smrek, Devin Robinson, the whole crew, like you mentioned, Carter Booth, Caroline Crawford. So they've got a lot of leadership. They got a lot of new faces, but they've got a lot of people who have been in this position before. So they definitely are going to rely on those to help the newcomers along if they are experiencing if they get rattled at any point here tonight, because like I said, it will be a bigger crowd than the majority of these players are used to playing. But yeah, and that's the thing, like how does there's a few things that need to have answered. We need to have answered is obviously, Charlie, and how does she fit in? And it sounds like she's going to be just fine. They're going to run a 5-1 offense. At times they may run a 6-2 offense like they did the last couple of years with MJ Hamlin, Izzy Ashburn, et cetera. But we'll see if that plays into it as well. I want to see how the new rules look with 2 liberos. So you're allowed to suit up 2 liberos for each set, and you can change those set by set. So you could have, more than 2 suit up throughout a match. So that'll get kind of interesting and confusing. And I'm not sure I fully understand the various strategies that you could employ there, but coaching staff here has been, tinkering with how they use that to their advantage. And then the other thing, we're going to see a freshman outside hitter in Trinity Shad Series. She's out of Canada. She's 5'11", but she can jump out of the gym. And we'll see how she fits into everything. Man, she's got a quick arm, and she can get above the net. So, it's how everything meshes together, new rules, new faces, along with what you said with that veteran leadership.
Real quick on Devin, how was she left off of the preseason All Big Ten list?
That's a good question.
She's 3-time All Big Ten. It just seems crazy. Not that you personally responsible for it, but it's pretty. I guess you can just more talk about how great Devin is, and it's shocking that she's overlooked.
Yeah, I mean, she is. She's an integral part of this, and she's going to be a middle blocker tonight. She's played a lot on the right side the last couple of years, but her position when she got here was middle right. So she's going to be a big part of it defensively at the net. When they are able to get her the ball, she can obviously put it away with the best of them. And what Devin does is it just gives the defense somebody else to worry about. When you do have a middle that can score like that. And we saw what Carter Booth, 6'7", did in the exhibition at middle. Caroline Crawford, more of a defensive type of middle blocker. And she's, she might be the odd person out here as far as the starting lineup. But that's not to say that she won't be in situational times when they do need her defense at the net. But Robinson just adds another list. I mean, think about the perspective of an opponent. Where I always kind of look at it, from Wisconsin, how they're going to do against this and that. But if you're Louisville, I mean, you've got to stop Devin Robinson, Ennis Rack, Sarah Franklin, National Player of the Year, this freshman that's going to be just as impactful, I think. So there's a lot of offense that you need to stop. And Devin's got offense, she's got defense, and you're right. She may get overlooked at times, but I think it's maybe just a product of being on a team that's stacked as like Wisconsin is.
John, if I'm not mistaken, I believe Louisville is an hour ahead of Madison time. So the first serve is at 8:30 p.m. Wisconsin time. That means it starts at 9:30 potentially, depending on the match ahead of that.
Past your bedtime? Or
Well, no. I just want to know. I'm curious. How many cups of coffee did you drink today? / how are you getting ready to be able to do volleyball until 1 o'clock in the morning? That seems crazy.
I love this question because I just normal routine with the coffee in the morning, and then actually Gary, the associate head coach, just went on a pregame coffee walk, and he's like, "Do you need anything?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'll take an oat milk vanilla latte." So I've got that ready to go here soon, and I'll have that. But I took a nap today too to recharge because
there you go.
Like you said, this is a later start. And it's going to be a little awkward for the players.
Yeah.
The coaching staff said, this is an opportunity for us to practice what we might see in the postseason. Because during the regular season, you start at 7. It's start time at 7, everybody goes. Here tonight, like in the postseason, you're going to have to wait for the previous match. That this match could start anywhere from, what were we thinking in Eastern time, 8 to 9 Eastern or later. And so, this is something that I think the coaching staff also stressed to the players that, treat this time. Remember how you go through warm-ups. Remember everything you need to do. Don't rush yourself just because it's awkward and we're going to have to go in a practice gym beforehand that's, in the hallways of the KFC Yum Center. So I think it's good for the players. But, for me, naps and coffee and then get back to Madison whenever we do, 2:30 in the morning or so, and then go to work tomorrow.
Oh, you got to fly back right after, too?
Yep, right after. So my guess is, we won't be out of the state of Kentucky until after midnight Eastern time. So it'll be rough.
I'll say this: the next time we have John on, we should have Matt because they can unite over their love of naps. Because Matt Hamilton's a big napper, so
that is true.
Whether you're a curler or a broadcast, Matt loves to nap even when he's got nothing going on. He's like a cat, or a dog. Like you just take naps throughout the day.
Well, I've read that the optimal nap, so for anyone listening, is 25 minutes. It allows your body to relax and rest, and it allows you to get that deeper rest, not too long where you wake up groggy. In fact, here's another trick that people recommend. You drink a cup of coffee before you nap.
Yes, I was hoping you were going to talk about this.
Yep. So then you get in that 25-minute zone, which studies show is about the right amount of time. And by the time you wake up, now not only are you refreshed from the nap, but that caffeine starts to kick in. So there's a little extra hack for anyone listening.
So instead of a cat nap, it's a calf nap.
Yes. It's a calf
There you
nap.
go.
Exactly.
Here with the court. There, thank you. All right. John, thanks so much for hopping on.
No problem. We go, what do we go? 7:30 pregame show.
Yep.
With myself and Jesse Nelson and Hunter Vaughn producing, and then Pete Waite and I have the call, I don't know, sometime after 8 probably.
Fantastic. We're looking forward to listening. It's Jon Arias. The Badger Call will be at 7:30 tonight here on ESPN Madison. This is Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light.
Hey, this is Hannibal Burris. You're listening to Jim, Matt, and Molly on 100.5 ESPN, playing smooth jams right after sports. Y'all still playing the smooth jams, right?
Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute.
This Badger Minute brought to you by Starion Bank, with 3 Madison area locations in Middleton, Sun Prairie, and Monona. Starion Bank is here investing in your community. Start your experience by going to starionbank.com. Member FDIC.
With your Badger Minute, I'm Riley Yauk. We're less than a week away from Wisconsin football kicking off, and at least one AP writer is bullish on the Badgers this season. Ralph Russo released his prediction for the inaugural 12-team playoff and has Wisconsin slated as the 10 seed. Just one more reason to get excited about a new season of Badger football. Tune in to ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day this Friday, beginning at 4 p.m.
Don't miss out on 0% interest for up to 60 months with no money down and equal payments.
Order today from Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Visit PellaWI.com.
Pizza Hut just changed the combo game with the new My Hut box. Get your choice of a 2-topping personal pan pizza, a half melt or a full melt, and your choice of either boneless wings or fries. It's the ultimate solo meal starting at only $6.99. Craving pizza and wings? You got it. Want melts and fries? You got it. Because this meal is all about you. Perfect for a speedy lunch, a relaxing dinner for one, or anytime you're on the go. Head to pizzahut.com to order your My Hut box today. That's pizzahut.com. No one out-pizzas the Hut.
eBay Motors is here for the ride. Go ahead, feel your engine. Admire that perfectly installed exhaust. Your vehicle's moving along this freeway like it was made from fresh installs and a whole lot of love. With eBay Motors, you get over 122 million parts to keep it running. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, they'll be the perfect fit every time. Plus, at these prices, well, we're burning rubber, not cash. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Meet Cheryl. Hey. She's on vacation and lost in the moment. Unfortunately, so is her Chase debit card.
It's gotta be somewhere.
Maybe she lost it at salsa night.
These skirts should have pockets.
Or maybe she lost it at Pilates.
3 and 2 and...
But she's not worried. With the Chase mobile app, she can lock her card till it turns up. Tools that help protect. One bank that puts you in control. Visit chase.com/checking. Chase, make more of what's yours.
Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank, N.A. member FDIC.
Hi, Drew and Jonathan Scott here, reminding you that a lot of life's firsts are better with help from American Family Insurance. Like your first home expansion or your first big lightning strike. There's a first for everything. Get the right home policy at the right price with the right help from American Family's agents. Life's better when you're under American Family's roof. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company SI and its operating company 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
The GRB Rays have established themselves as one of the top baseball programs in the Midwest and the country. GRB Academy offers training programs for players of all ages and skill levels. Learn from some of the best baseball coaches in the area and find the program that fits your training goals and your schedule. Spots are filling up fast, so visit grbacademy.com to sign up now. That's grbacademy.com. GRB Academy, baseball for the serious player.
Welcome back to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN. Also brought to you by J&K Security Solutions.
I got a feeling that tonight's gonna be a good
Do you know who this is?
Yeah, it's the Black Eyed Peas. I know who they are, but like, they're this thing. I'm trying to think of the. It's just formulaic. Like anyone could have made this.
This song is Bad Luck, though, so I'm annoyed that you played this song.
Wait, why is this song Bad Luck?
Because whenever it says tonight's going to be a good night, it means it's going to be bad.
Well, the Badgers are losing tonight, and it's Ryan's fault.
I didn't want to put that onto the world, but it is your fault now. Yep, you do.
All right. Well, that's going away then.
You know what is fantastic?
And
the
also, it's like their
opposite
worst song, so it's
of
annoying.
bad, it would be Chalmers Jewelers. They're wonderful. You can go to Chalmers Jewelers in Madison or in Middleton. Madison's custom jeweler, and you can run into Ruth or Devin or Scott or Garrett, any of the Chalmers family at either location, Madison or in Middleton. Chalmers Jewelers, Madison's custom jeweler. Just a side note, we got to figure out, I never could figure out the TVs here. Why in God's name, I don't know why this channel exists, Spectrum News.
Yeah.
It's just a pointless channel. Like, is this channel just for people with, like, pets?
That's a good question.
And people in, like, retirement homes?
I am trying to think of why it was on. I think I had a preseason game replay on at one point in there. I think the Patriots versus whoever they
But I thought,
played.
like, Spectrum News channel is just one thing.
I don't know.
Also, like, I thought it's on Charter. Stinks.
We're working on it. We're working on it.
Maybe
It's in the works.
We wanted the weather alerts. Big weather at it again.
That was pretty crazy. These TVs, I was in here earlier, just went black and then said like severe thunderstorm warning. But then it was like bright and sunny out, so I don't know what happened. And then it moved to like only Dodge County and up. They got hit pretty hard, but
I got a lot of rain.
Dodged the bullet.
I got a lot of rain in Oregon today. It was very confusing.
Really?
Yeah, I was like sitting at the desk doing some work, and all of a sudden it just felt like it was a monsoon. I heard thunder and lightning. I honestly thought it was like a truck, like it's garbage pickup day, and so I thought they were like coming through, and you kind of hear it. And I was like, because it was kind of a low rumble, and I'm like, oh, it must be. Or sometimes if a plane, like once a week, we'll hear like a plane go over. And so I figured it was something like that because it was kind of a faraway rumble.
You didn't post it on like your local Oregon Facebook page asking what this rumble was?
No, but
you weren't that person?
You know what? It is funny. That Facebook page does work once in a while because I think it was about 2 years ago now. And I remember being at home. I dropped the kids off and I was like eating breakfast, getting ready for the day. And I heard it felt like something like one of the, I don't know if I had cats at the time. It felt like something fell over upstairs. And I was like, what is that? Like it was like a doom. And I'm like, that was weird.
Okay.
And then I went about the day, and then I think I opened up my Facebook app or whatever, and I saw there was a house that exploded in Oregon, like a mile and a half. Thankfully, nobody was injured during this one. And what I had felt was the explosion that had come through, like the reverb, and they were probably a mile and a half away. And I still felt like that's why the house, like it felt like something was shook upstairs because my house shook a little bit. Being a mile and a half away.
That is pretty crazy. One thing that I actually just stumbled upon it this morning from my local Facebook group is people are saying that people are breaking into cars.
Oh, people are saying that. That's already a red flag.
They're
to
saying
me.
somebody said that their car was broken into. Well, I don't know if it's breaking into if you leave it unlocked because you don't really got to break anything to get in. But they broke into the person's car and then they said that they have bells on their door that they heard ringing because somebody was trying to open their door, but they had it locked. So they were like, make sure you lock your doors, make sure you lock your car. So I told my husband, I was like, hey, I know you have a habit of leaving your car unlocked. Make sure you lock it or make sure you don't have anything in there that you don't want stolen. And he was like, nobody's gonna break in my car. But I got my car broken into a couple years ago. They took my iPhone charger and that's it. That was it. I don't keep anything else in my car. But
they took your iPhone charger?
Yeah, they took my iPhone charger. That was kind of annoying because those damn chargers break on me all the time.
And they're also $15?
$15. So I don't know. Maybe you can sell it on Marketplace for $5.
I think I was going to say the inconvenience of not having one is probably bigger than the replacement cost.
Yeah, it was annoying.
I honestly, if someone took it, they're more like, I need one of these.
Yeah, they just needed a charge.
They didn't turn around to sell it. It's not worth the risk of trying to sell it, get caught selling it.
No.
They're like,
but my middle console thing was lifted up with crap everywhere, and I was like, meh. You want my Bath and Body Works lotion? Meh.
So you were broken in. You weren't broken. Was it broken into or just
no?
unlocked?
I think I just left my car unlocked.
So they went in your car.
Yeah. See, that's the thing. Is it broken into, or is it just well, you didn't break anything to get into my car?
They basically went shopping in your car. So I'm imagining 15-year-olds raided your car.
Probably.
And they're like, I could use a charger.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Boys, I'm guessing, if they didn't take your Bath and Body Works lotion and others.
Well, see, girls would be like, "Hey, this is a $10 lotion bottle."
Single boys, because they could have gotten it for their girlfriend. Here's a half-used bottle of lotion that appeals to a woman in her mid-20s. But whatever, it's fine.
Donnie and DeForest says people are breaking into cars to get information from your glove compartment. Well, I don't know what information they're gonna steal from me. I don't have anything, honestly. Maybe is that too negative? I don't know.
My wife's a big concern about everyone stealing everything, and
What does that mean? Like,
I mean, like if I leave the garage door open when I go for a run, she'd be like, "You left the garage open." Like,
my husband does that too, but that's because he has so much fishing stuff, and it's like, all right, I get why you would be concerned that like somebody's going to steal something. You don't have like valuable stuff in your garage?
I don't know. I just it's not that. I just like if that's the concern, we need to move. That's my answer every time.
I get
if you're worried about people coming into our garage or our house in the middle of the day, we should move. Like we live in Oregon, we live in a nice neighborhood for a reason. What are we doing here if this is your concern?
If you're worried about it,
That's usually my pushback.
You can't fight off an intruder, Jim? Come on.
I was
Jim
running.
Rutledge, he's fake tough.
I got there's a bat under my bed. I don't know what it
they'll
does for
run
me.
when they see his wet pants.
Right, exactly. Yes. I'll tell you what. My biggest hope is that they don't realize that that Dolly is my dog. That's a pit mix. Is the biggest baby on the face of the earth, and is terrified of like the garbage truck going by because it's too loud. It drives me insane. She's gotten worse with age. She hides under our feet at anything. But anyways, she looks fierce.
Yeah.
And I do feel like if someone came in that wasn't supposed to be there,
it'd piss her off.
I think it would end very poorly for them. Because every once in a while I'm wrestling with her, I'm like, oof, a good thing you're a giant baby because you could bite my arm clear off.
Is it safe to say that Dolly's in the best shape of her life?
I would say the person coming into the house is in the best shape of their life if they met Dolly. Because I think Dolly would bring it. This is Jim, Matt, and Molly. We are presented by Coors Light. Step into nostalgia with the Miller High Life Dive Bar of the Week. Listen to Jim, Matt, and Molly every Thursday to find out where you can enjoy $2 Miller High Lifes. To celebrate our love for dive bars, we are going to tell you about some of our favorites, featuring one extra special dive bar that will have $2 High Lifes on special for the week. Taste the champagne of beer in its natural environment. A delightfully different dive bar in Wisconsin like Hooterville, Jerry's Place, Remington's Tavern, and Wilson's Bar and Grill.
Hey, it's Kelly Sheffield, Wisconsin Badgers volleyball head coach. You're listening to 100.5 ESPN, WTLX, Monona, Madison, a good Karma Brands radio station.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio, this is your Metro Kia of Madison Sports Center.
Good afternoon, Madison. I'm Ryan Wollersheim, and this is your Sports Center update brought to you by Wisconsin Badgers volleyball on 100.5 ESPN. From the season opener tonight to the NCAA tournament, catch every thrilling match all season long right here on 100.5 ESPN. And speaking of that, the Badgers do open their regular season tonight. The number 3 Badgers taking on the number 6 Louisville Cardinals at the AVCA First Serve Showcase in Louisville. First serve is set around 8:30 p.m. You can hear that call right here on 100.5 ESPN. Pre-game coverage with Jon Arias and Jesse Nelson starting at 7:30 p.m. right here on 100.5. Also catch the game broadcast nationally on ESPN2. Now, the Green Bay Packers also making some massive moves today as they traded for 7th round pick Malik Willis yesterday. Means they released quarterbacks Michael Pratt and Sean Clifford today. Both players could still come back on the practice squad, but they'll have to clear waivers before they can do that tomorrow afternoon. And the Packers also releasing kicker Anders Carlson and international pathway player Alex Hale. Head over to ESPNWisconsin.com for more news and updates about all the Packers roster moves ahead of today's 3 p.m. deadline. Second hour of Jim, Matt, and Molly starts right now.
Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealer. Stop into Metro Kia on the east side of Madison or metrokiaofmadison.com.
Everybody's ego takes a shot on this show.
You gotta keep your chill with Jim, Matt, and Molly.
I am savage.
So you're not special.
Jim, if we want to play this game, we can play this game.
And I'm just like, oh my God, this guy's gonna swing on Jim. He's a complicated fellow.
People like me.
I don't think so.
This is Jim, Matt, and Molly. Presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN.
We're learning a lot about each other.
This is the lamest practice list of all time.
Oh my gosh. What gets you geared up to hit somebody like Stacy's mom?
I was never actually. You guys kind of nailed it on the head. You were talking about Clifford before the show, or before I came on, and talked about I looked at more like an undrafted free agent. I didn't think he was draftable. Thought he maybe classic camp body. See if you can run around a little bit and do some things and wash your hands a bit.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio in downtown Madison, alongside Molly Brown. Here's Jim Rutledge.
It is Jim, Matt, and Molly. Presented by Coors Light. Ryan, can you look through our talking text line? It's a 608 number coming through. There's a lot of information. The W block up from the south side.
Yes, I do know this guy.
I think he's a KBN fan.
I think he's a KBN fan, but I gave him that name about last week.
He's out then.
Well, I'm trying to explain why I gave him the name. He's the W block from the south side because you might like KBN. He also likes the Wisconsin Badgers.
Okay.
He's promoting Jaden Reed, a Chicago native, plays for the Packers now, but also Will Pauling, Chicago native. Got to have another awesome season for the Packers, or for the Badgers. Maybe set their all-time single-season reception record. We'll see. But I'm also pretty sure, like I'd say 80% sure, that it's Carlito the Badger Bear.
Oh, okay.
I think it is.
But he's not texting into our show, so don't we want to tell him, hey, you're texting the wrong number?
No, I think he was texting the right show. I think he's just saying that he is drive time. I'm not really sure.
He put 1 and 98. You own the drive time in the MKE.
1 and 98.
Don't ask me.
What then? 94.5 for you guys only.
That's what I'm saying.
I think he's texting the wrong show.
I don't know. It's Carlito, so if
he's listening now, so.
Well, Carlito, if it's you, call in.
Why
We'd
would
love
you
to hear from
change?
Carlito. Well, because I don't think his name was ever Carlito in the talking text line.
Yeah, it was, right?
Was? I don't think so.
No? I don't know.
Carlito's tough to nail down. He's very tough to nail down.
I'm not even positive it's a real person. This is Jim, Matt, and Molly. We are presented by Coors Light. The mountains are blue. You know what to do.
And that's Crush a Coors Light.
We do have a poll question up. People are answering it. So let's fire into it. And the question was, what Packers roster move are you most surprised by today? Right now, 63% of you say AJ Dillon to the IR. Then Anders Carlson at 17%, Michael Pratt at 15%. Nobody's surprised about Sean Clifford at 5%. I know David Deerfield said, hey, everyone thought Clifford was going to get cut. I said that he was a bum the second he was drafted, and I've maintained that. And even into the preseason that this was a bad decision. So we did have people chiming in. None of them in your poll. Cutting Anthony Johnson Jr. and Kevin King were the ones, but that's not Kevin King. It's Kalen King, right?
Yep, Kalen King.
This person wrote Kevin King, so I'm just reading it as is. I didn't mess that one up.
Okay.
Anthony I just love that people you just pick the most bottom of the roster randos. Like King and Johnson. Like, what are we doing here, folks? Get drafted Evan Williams and Bullard. You're gonna move off some players in the secondary. It's just the price of doing business. Didn't they draft a third safety as well? Am I missing another one, or they just draft two?
They drafted Bullard, Evan Williams, and then Keaton Oladapo, who basically took Anthony Johnson's spot.
Right, exactly. And so, that's sports, man. And I don't know where they'll end up. Hopefully, they'll be on the practice squad if you're a Packers fan. But it is funny, you're getting caught up in the bottom of the roster.
The surprising part is because it seemed like Goody and some of the coaching staff were talking highly of Johnson, and they thought he'd be a core special teamer, which, as we know, with Rich Bisaccia, when he has his guys who can play on special teams, he wants to keep them around.
That is true.
Wasn't that you literally today that was talking about Anders Carlson staying on the team because he was Rich Bisaccia's guy?
Yeah, that was a big belief. We were talking about it in the studio today, or
Really?
in the office.
Okay.
I couldn't remember if I thought it was you, but I couldn't remember. So.
Well, I mean, yeah, he worked with Daniel Carlson with the Raiders out in Vegas and Oakland before that. And he knows the family personally, which is probably a big reason why they used the 6th-round pick on him. But
totally worth it.
Rich Bisaccia has been a very interesting hire for the Packers, I feel like.
Is he still one of the highest paid special team?
I believe he still is the highest. I mean, it's not like a super high bar. He makes $1.5 million a year. But it's still, he's the highest paid.
If Hafley works out the same way that Bisaccia worked out, I don't know if I said that right. Anyways, do we call that a win?
Yes, because it's better than what Joe Barry was.
Right.
It's a win. It's not like a huge win.
Yeah.
But I think Bisaccia.
That's the best. That's honestly the most likely scenario, that Hafley's maybe Joe Barry was slightly below average, and Hafley will be slightly above average.
But are you happy with what Rich Bisaccia has done for special teams?
Outside of kicker, it's been okay. Which for the Packers was an extremely low bar. Similar to the defense. Yeah, exactly. If they're just average to sometimes pretty good, and if they have a real kicker, I think we'd feel a lot different.
So,
how much credit does he get for Nixon?
Yeah.
That's a great question. I don't know.
Is that just talent? But then again, we could be saying the same thing about the defense soon.
Like if I'm judging special teams, I'm judging it on coverage, honestly, because the rest is more of like you have specialists for punters and kickers. Like a lot of times they have their own coaches, or you even have someone else during training camp that's coaching those specific positions. And then like returning, to me, that is one of the things in sports where either you can or you can't. Either you are capable of returning kicks and punts, or you can't do it. I don't think that's taught. It's a little bit like running a football, but running a football you can teach a little bit. Returning kicks and punts, I think it's
honestly, now with the new kickoff rules, it might be something you can kind of teach guys.
Maybe, but you still have to find the holes and do it at such a high...
It's more about scheming up like good blocking schemes.
True, right, but you still... And that's where... You're right. I mean, obviously, and that's where the special teams coach would matter of like having good blocking and having the right players for it. But you still have the actual returner, the one that can take it to the house. They have to be seeing all that happening in a split second.
And that's what's surprising about Nixon is before the Packers, I don't think he ever returned kickoffs. It was like first time when he started doing it.
And that, again, goes back to like it's an innate ability.
Maybe.
And so maybe nobody popped it back there and he never tried it, and it was just, that's that.
I mean, finding the guy and figuring that out, realizing that is part of what a good coach does.
True. That's a good point.
Mm-hmm.
844
Another one of Goody's wins, by the way.
844-770-3776 is how you get into the show. And we haven't heard from AC and Toast in a while.
No. I mean, is he still on the clock? It's still his draft pick, right?
Right. It's still his draft pick. I honestly am forgetting regularly that we have that fantasy draft. So
I got to get going on.
I wish I could just like set it for, I mean, like week by, like set it like a week in advance or weeks in advance at a time. Like, look, can I just set it for the, like, set my buys, and so it'll be like, all right, barring injury, I can just let this be.
So they're like auto drafting, and like you want to just do that for the whole league.
Auto playing for the regular season.
Right, well, not even auto. Like, I'll go through and set it for each week, but like I'll look at the matchups and everything, and then just be done with it.
Nah.
Oh, so like you'll just put no thought.
Around.
Yeah, I mean, this is a league where there's no money involved. So like.
Is that how you feel with? I think that might be how you are with like every fantasy league, though, too, because you've said it in the past where
once
ours,
you hit $10?
A point, like once you hit a point, you're just like, yeah.
If we do ours, are we even doing ours? I don't.
We are doing ours.
If we
eventually,
if we do ours, I might try this whole no running backs thing I've seen. Just take a flyer on it. Basically, draft everything but running backs because fill in. Like, they're so hit or miss throughout the year. Just fill in the stuff that's harder to fill in. So if
guys
you
get hurt a lot.
Yeah, so if you have the top tier receivers and if you have like 2 out of the top 10 wide receivers and the top tight end and the top quarterback, that might be more valuable than the running backs because they're still a dime a dozen.
I'm new to fantasy football. This is only my 3rd year doing it, I think. Isn't running back supposed to be the position that you draft first?
Right, but that's the point. If everyone's doing that, kind of moneyball it, do the opposite.
I get it. We were also asking the best food-named band/musician, Schadenfreude.
What?
He said, he chimed in, God, I hate when this thing jumps. It says, how do you know how heavy a hot chili pepper is? Give it away now. You don't get that one, do you, Jim?
I do.
Okay.
I know the chili. That's the one I know.
He just chose not to laugh.
Give it away now.
That's probably the one Chili Peppers tape/CD that I
tape.
had.
Who are you?
Yeah, tape.
I feel like it might have been a tape for me.
No way.
No way.
They're not that old.
What was that? Was that Blood?
What's
what was
the
that
name of the
album?
album?
Yeah. What's the name of the record?
I was probably exactly. I was probably like 5 when that came out.
It was Blood, Sex, Sugar, Magic.
Oh.
Can't say magic?
I'm not. Yeah, exactly. Sugar was what got me.
There's a lot of bands that are names. Spice Girls.
Spicy.
I definitely it did
funny.
come out on tape, and I think I definitely had the tape.
Uh-oh.
Dork.
That is neat.
Ice Cube.
Does that count? The Ice Cube's not food.
I snack on them. Actually, if you're pregnant and you're eating and you're craving ice cubes, you're iron deficient. Let me just tell you.
Well,
that.
I meant more of like when people. I just watched the Bear, and I remember Ice Chips.
I just watched Never mind.
Yeah.
I just watched the
We're
7th
not talking
grade
about
health
making
tape.
babies. We're talking about in the Bear. One of the characters was pregnant, and they gave her ice chips. Like at certain points, like surgeries, things like that. Ice chips, you can eat that because it doesn't fill your stomach, but it makes.
But you're eating something.
Yeah, and then obviously there's water in there.
I get it. M&M. That's a food.
That is true.
One singular M&M. There you go.
Fish.
So, yep.
How did we not talk about this? We have Fish Fridays. Fish.
That's a big miss on our part.
Big miss.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy that there is so much.
Pearl jam.
Come on.
The Smashing Pumpkins.
We allow that one?
I mean, pumpkins are food, but when you're smashing them, you're not using them as
cherry
food.
pie.
Cherry pie. Yeah.
That's
No, wait, that's a song by Warrant. It's not the band.
Oh.
I think that's a cover. That's a cover band in Madison called Cherry Pie.
Of course there is.
Yeah. So.
Bowling for Soup.
Yeah.
What? That's a real thing?
Yeah. What's that song called?
Why are you acting like? Of
Pull
course.
that one up. Pull that one up. No, it is.
Pull that one up.
1985. And then I sent to Madonna.
All right. At Canopy Wealth Management, they are a fee-based advisory firm. They don't chase commissions, and they never back gimmicks or instruments that cause single-day returns or put your long-term goals at risk. The team at Canopy creates strategies that are tailored to your needs and goals. Canopy Wealth Management, care, competence, and clarity aren't just buzzwords. They're a promise. Go to canopy-wealth.com to get started with them today. That's canopy-wealth.com. This is Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light.
You're listening to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light. Also brought to you by J&K Security Solutions, securing homes and businesses in the Madison area since 1987.
Ho-Chunk Gaming Madison, home of the Big Win and Madison Casino Guru, is transforming guests into winners. Making an ordinary day into a big win day is easy with a 95% average payout. And with over 140 daily jackpots, the number of people winning has never been bigger. So what are you waiting for? Escape to Ho-Chunk Gaming Madison for your next big win.
Ho-Chunk Gaming Madison.
Searching for the perfect brunch spot this weekend? Look no further than the Great Dane Pub and Brewing Company. Every Saturday and Sunday from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m., indulge in the Great Dane's sweet and savory brunch menu paired with mimosas, Bloody Marys, or one of their signature beers on tap. Enjoy at any of their 4 Madison area pubs, downtown, Hilldale, Fitchburg, or East Madison. Learn more and view the full menu at greatdanepub.com/brunch. Great Dane Pub and Brewing Company, Madison's original brew pub since 1994.
Join the Madison Money Guy, Christian Finfrock, for Retirement Income Strategies, Saturday and Sunday mornings at 7. Get the information you need as you plan for retirement. That's Retirement Income Strategies, Saturday and Sunday mornings at 7. Investment advisory services offered through Retirement Income Strategies, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
Every event tells a story, from the first impression to the final moments. Have someone guide your guests through every chapter the way you want the story told. Hi, it's Jeffrey from Celebrations Entertainment. With a strong presence, great voices, and an award-winning team, trust us to guide, direct, and inform your guests through all the different chapters of the day. For fun, memorable entertainment for any event, please visit us at celebrationsentertainment.com. That's celebrationsentertainment.com.
Hey Badger fans, fall is right around the corner and so is the return of Badger football. Experience the excitement of Friday night lights at Camp Randall Stadium on August 30th as the Badgers take on Western Michigan. Individual tickets start at just $35 with all-inclusive group packages still available. Visit uwbadgers.com or call 1-800-GO-BADGERS to secure your seats for the Friday night home opener of Wisconsin football on August 30th. That's uwbadgers.com or 1-800-GO-BADGERS.
Transform your home with Ridgetop Exteriors. With over 22 years of service excellence, we specialize in roofing, siding, windows, doors, and gutters. Visit us today at ridgetopexteriors.com. That's ridgetopexteriors.com. Find your trusted, local, affordable partner here at Ridgetop Exteriors.
Listen to Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin on 100.5 ESPN.
You haven't been as adamant as I've been. Are you thinking that this offense is going to take a step backwards from what we saw the last 8 weeks?
I think it's going to take them a while to get back to where they were the last 8 weeks, yes.
Wilde and Tausch, weekdays 9 to noon on 100.5 ESPN. Also brought to you by Hallman Lindsay Paints, Coors Light, Made to Chill, and American Family Insurance.
You're only minutes away from a better buying experience at Simden Chevy in Mount Horeb. Jim Rutledge here. What is a better buying experience? Well, that's the thing. You get to define it. It is the experience that is customized to you. What experience do you want at a car dealership? They can be your trusted friend or your trusted expert. So if you're in the market for a new or new-to-you Silverado, Colorado, Blazer, Trailblazer, remember, you're only minutes away from a better buying experience. And that's at Simden Chevy in Mount Horeb.
How much does it cost to talk to Gruber's offices after a serious accident? It's free. Yes, free, as in it won't cost you anything to speak with us. There's never a fee until we win your case. Gruber's offices. One call, that's all. After a serious accident, you'll need a winning team to protect your rights. Trust Wisconsin's own Gruber's offices. Proud partner of your Milwaukee Brewers. One call, that's all.
Now. We tend not to think about now. We dream about tomorrow, relive yesterday. But right now in front of us is victory over cancer. Right now, cancer research funded by the V Foundation is leading to better treatments and saving lives. Victory over cancer is there for the taking by you, because today's cancer research is tomorrow's victory. Learn more at v.org.
Don't give up. Don't ever give up.
Welcome back to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Metro Kia Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealership.
I won't do that.
Do we know the answer?
To what?
What Meatloaf won't do for love? He will do anything for love, but he won't do that. What? I don't. That's one of life's
What do we think it is?
great mystery. I mean, everyone's got their lines.
Would Goody do anything for love?
Ooh. Except keep Sean Clifford on the roster.
Oh.
This is Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light. We are, maybe Jason Wilde knows the answer. What Goody won't do for love. You won't get him a number one receiver, I'll tell you that much. But, Jason, how you doing today?
Mom, the meatloaf!
Molly did not know who Meatloaf was.
So no. That is phony baloney. You didn't know who the
Phony
Red Hot
Meatloaf.
Chili Peppers were.
Also phony baloney. But anyways.
No, I know who Meatloaf is. I just don't know his music. I know this song because I believe it was in like a Chips Ahoy commercial. I'm not kidding.
Is that how you know it, Jason?
Yeah, I know it because of the Chips Ahoy commercial. Who doesn't?
Right, I mean...
It was either Chips Ahoy or Swiffer. I can't remember.
It was the peak of Meatloaf's career when he was in a Chips Ahoy commercial. You'd think it'd be a Meatloaf commercial, of all things. But apparently not. Jason, kind of an interesting roster day for the Packers. We asked our fans, was it the Clifford move or the Pratt move, or I guess you tie Willis into that, or Anders Carlson or Dillon going on IR. Did anything catch you a little bit off guard or surprise you a little bit today?
By the way, in Meatloaf's obituary, it says he was known for Bat Out of Hell. Mm-hmm. Not for the Chips Ahoy commercial, just to clarify.
I didn't even know he was dead, if I'm being honest. That's terrible.
He died in 2022.
Okay.
So it's been a while. R.I.P. Meatloaf.
Mm-hmm.
But his actual name was Michael Lee Aday, and now we've officially covered all the ground that we need to on Meatloaf. Look, I don't. Nothing was especially surprising. Now, there were some quarterbacks that were released or were rumored to be on the trade block that when I saw that, the Browns, for example, were shopping both Tyler Huntley and Jameis Winston. I didn't expect the Packers to trade for Jameis Winston, but Huntley was interesting. And they were guys that obviously have played a lot more football in games that counted than Malik Willis. So the fact that they made that trade yesterday, we all knew that meant that they were going to be cutting both of their quarterbacks today. Now, I think many of us are expecting them to bring to bring Sean Clifford back on the practice squad, and maybe he's even the backup in Sao Paulo on the 6th. But here's the only reason why the Anders Carlson thing surprised me. And I was saying this to Homer and Bulaga last night. And, of course, when they clipped it on social media, it's me saying, I think they're going to keep Anders Carlson, which isn't entirely the truth. I thought that they would be afraid to release Anders Carlson and then have him do what Daniel Carlson, his older brother, did after the Vikings gave up on him, which is go somewhere else and end up being one of the better kickers in the league and kick at a 90% accuracy rate on field goals. Now, maybe they can see the future and they realize that Anders is never going to be as good as his brother, so it's time to cut their losses. But, I do find myself wondering if he makes the 32-yard field goal, is he their kicker? Because that field goal that he missed in the fourth quarter, to me anyway, was what underscored his incredible inconsistency. And the guy that missed at least one kick, field goal attempt or extra point attempt, in 10 of their final 12 games last year, it felt to me when he pushed that kick wide right, this is why you can't have him as your kicker. Because it's almost as if you go through a game just waiting for him to miss, because he's going to miss once every game. And so I don't know if Greg Joseph did as much to win the job as Anders Carlson did to lose it. That's one of the things that I'm hoping we get to explore with Goody a little bit tomorrow when he speaks. But the bottom line is that, I'm not surprised that they weren't happy with either of the backup quarterbacks. I'm not surprised that Anders Carlson lost his job just because I thought if they had to choose, they would keep him. I was wrong about that, but I'm not surprised by it. The AJ Dillon piece is really interesting. So he has this stinger injury, which is obviously a neck-related injury. He missed the last 3 games of last season, regular season finale, both playoff games, and then he was diagnosed with this again. I was talking to somebody earlier this afternoon who posited that maybe he never plays again. Mm-hmm. Like, you got to be really leery of stuff going on in that area of your body, in your neck. And so I don't know, but it's a shame because as we talked about, he came back in the best shape of his career, and I thought he had really gotten off to a really good start where you thought, okay, this guy took the challenge of getting a crappy contract and no interest on the free agent market. He's ready to be the number 2 behind Josh Jacobs, and now it's Emmanuel Wilson, and it's a guy with a hamstring injury that I don't think is going to be ready for the opener. Mm-hmm. So that, to me, is going to be really interesting what they do at running back.
Yeah, and that kind of leads into my question of what position do you think Packers fans should be more worried about? Should it be kicker, running back? Which one should they be more worried about? Because I don't feel confident in either one of them at this point, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, I think obviously you worry if something happens to Love, but you've got one of the best up-and-coming quarterbacks in the league there. So as long as he's healthy, there's nothing to worry about, right? At running back, I think you feel really good about Josh Jacobs as your starter. It's just what exactly is this going to look like in both the short term and the long term. And remember, they're going to be able to put in all kinds of waiver wire claims if they so choose. They'll have some options at that position. And again, you can call guys up for the practice squad, so you get 16 guys. It's really more, and with the extra international pathway player in Alex Hill, you get 17 guys. So you got 70 guys that are at your disposal. I would still say kicker because I didn't think that Greg Joseph was like head and shoulders or even, a tiny little bit when like you go back to back when you're a kid and I think I got you by just my hair. I'm not sure that Greg Joseph was significantly or even partially better than Anders Carlson. So I guess I'd have to pick that as my one that I would be more worried about.
Do you think Greg Joseph even makes it through the full season with the Packers? I know you don't like making predictions, but I'm asking you to make a prediction.
God, you sound like the female version of Tausch. I don't know. I mean, it's not out of the realm of possibility that he doesn't make it through the week, right? Mm-hmm. Like if there's somebody else that got released that they like better or that they were working on some sort of trade with as the cuts were coming down and it hasn't gone through yet, like, I don't know, maybe that's possible. But, look, he has experience. He's kicked some game-winning field goals in the clutch for the Vikings. I think, if you spent some time talking to him like a bunch of us did, he's clearly got a very regimented process. I think that probably appeals to them. I'd be curious if maybe the kickoff part of the equation was in any way a factor, because I think Anders kind of struggled a little bit with keeping it out of the end zone. So, again, I look forward to Matt LaFleur and Goody talking to us tomorrow because these are all questions that really need answers.
Talking with Jason Wilde. You can listen to Wilde and Tausch weekdays here on ESPN Wisconsin, 9 to noon. And not to just continue to belabor the kicker thing, I wonder if some of it, though, Carlson reminds me of, like, you always see this like golf, like the long drive competition guy who can't consistently put it in the fairway. And I feel like the waiver wire is full of these big-leg kickers who can't put it all together. Greg Joseph, and I'm a little biased. He went to FAU. But Greg Joseph, for his career, inside 30, he's perfect. Even under 40 yards, he's only missed one kick. And so it's really, if you're kicking, if you feel like you're going to be close and you want someone that you can rely on very, very much inside of 40, he's the guy. It's 50-plus where he's a disaster because I think 40 to 49, he's probably league average. But it's that 50-plus where he's only like 50%. And I think it's almost like they have Mason Crosby again is my point.
Wow. Except he went to FAU, so
Right.
you like him better.
Right.
I will say this. I really have enjoyed the conversations I've had with Greg Joseph. He does do the third-person thing, which is a little weird.
It's amazing.
Because Jason Wilde doesn't do third person.
Does that make you uncomfortable if he's talking like in the locker room in third person? Or are you just like, ugh, icky?
Greg Joseph's got to compete with Greg Joseph, and that's who he's here to compete with. He's not here to compete with Molly Brown. He's not here to compete with Jim Rutledge. He's here to compete. Greg Joseph's got to take care of Greg Joseph. And hey, if that works for him, great. I tend to chuckle when people do that personally. But again, if that's what it clearly worked for him. I mean, he's reached this point where he's the guy. So apparently talking about yourself in the third person is the way to go.
Have you asked him if he's seen Seinfeld? And I think Jimmy was the character's name in Seinfeld, where he refers to himself.
Jimmy's going into shock.
Right. And then George brings it back as well. George starts doing it. Molly, you've not seen Seinfeld?
No.
I'm guessing no. All right,
This is
Ryan.
probably before I was born.
Goodness.
I mean, I've seen
I'm
Seinfeld,
not even like a
but,
Seinfeld stan, but neither one of you are even helpful on this.
Those on VHS.
Jim, Matt, and Molly.
Is this on it? Yeah.
Goodness gracious. Jason, you have the same issue, I'm sure, that I do of like everyone keeps on getting younger, and just things that I don't think are old, they just miss.
Yeah, we need to get better at that. Like I was actually driving the car earlier today, and Enter Sandman came on, and if you've got it on one of the Sirius XM channels that is 90s on 9 or 80s on 8, it tells you the year, and it was 1991, and I'm like, so this is the equivalent of me when I was growing up in the 80s, like my parents talking about, like that's even like pre-Beatles, right? That's like them talking about Elvis Presley and Chuck Berry. I mean, oh my God, I'm ancient. So between and here's the other thing. So they trade for Malik Willis, and there's no way that anyone under our age is getting a "What you talking about" Willis reference. Nobody.
Right. No, that's a great point.
I know it from Hannah Montana, but that probably makes you feel really old.
Hannah Montana.
What you
Hannah
talking about,
Montana
Willis?
used different strokes references on Hannah Montana. Wow. Okay.
I don't know. That's
Because it's
just what I
that
know
old
from.
that it's now like in the lexicon where it's like we're going to need a bigger boat. Like they don't know it from Jaws, you just know it from something probably. We're going to need a bigger something. That's like a trope.
I didn't know that was a line. I mean, I've seen Jaws. I played the game too. I just don't know.
All right, I can't.
There's a great Jaws board game. Your guys' girls would love it.
All right,
Let me just
I can't handle
recommend it.
being old for a minute here. Jason, the Packers 2020 draft class will always be viewed as amazing because they got Jordan Love, but the rest of it, not great. Depending on how you feel about AJ Dillon. And it just goes to like, I mean, even with like the Clifford, we had Nate Tice on yesterday, and he said Clifford viewed by everyone he ever talked to in him as a quarterback as a camp body, like Joe Stave-esque, where like you bring him in, you wash your hands of him, you don't draft him. Packers used a 5th-round pick on him, and they used a 6th-round pick on Anders Carlson, and they have a 7th-rounder starting left tackle, so those late picks have value. They used the 7th-rounder to get their new backup quarterback. So Again, I'm not saying these are major blemishes against Goody, but it is always a tightrope that these GMs are walking of good or great to average.
Yeah, I look at the 2020 class, and when you draft AJ Dillon in the second round, he wasn't good enough.
Mm-hmm.
Like if this is the end of the line for him, and I hope if he wants to keep playing that it's not. But
Yes.
if this is the end of the line for him, it wasn't good enough. Eddie Lacy was a second-round pick, had back-to-back 1,100-yard seasons as the Packers running back, and people didn't think he was good enough. But he wasn't the mayor of Door County. And look, A.J. Dillon is a fantastic guy. Like, he is impossible to dislike. The girls did with the Tauscher kids, did a thing for Feeding America, Eastern Wisconsin, with A.J. Dillon. I mean, he is a authentically likable guy. So I don't wish him any ill will. But if we just call him running back X, and then we call Eddie Lacy running back Y, we should be saying that Eddie Lacy had 5 times a better career than running back X if we take out how likable he is. And, Eddie was introverted, and he didn't do a lot of stuff in the community, and so no one ever really felt a connection to him the way we all feel to AJ. But he's a disappointment as a second-round pick. I don't mean that in a mean-spirited way. But, yeah, you look at that draft, John Runyon is starting for the Giants, and Jordan Love is the Packers' starting quarterback. That obviously matters. But, and I hate doing this because, first of all GMs miss. And second of all, when I start pointing out his misses, then, Wilde hates Goody. And I've known Goody for 25 years. I'm the only one who still calls him Goody because he and I were buddies way back in training camp, and he was a young scout, and I was a young beat writer. So everybody else, when they ask questions, ask him Brian. I haven't called him Brian in 25 years. So I don't do that, but I look at his drafts, and the 2021 draft, you've got Josh Myers left from it. You've got Eric Stokes, who's clearly been a disappointment, right, as a first-round pick. He's obviously had a lot of injury issues, so that's part of it. And you've got Isaiah McDuffie left from that draft, okay? So now we're into the last 3 drafts, and most of those guys are on the roster from all 3 of those drafts, including 9 of the 11 guys that they drafted in the spring. But some of them, if we're, again, being honest, made it based on their draft position, right? Like Marshawn Lloyd had a hip injury, then he had a hamstring injury. He's on the roster only because he's a third-round pick.
Yep.
You look at the 2 linebackers they picked, Edgerrin Cooper in the second round and Tyron Hopper in the third round, who I always want to call Chad Hopper, which is not accurate. But both of those guys are they could turn out to be really good players. We have no idea. I would never judge them right now. But the reason why Christian Welch, who was probably your best defensive player all preseason, and is a critical special teams piece, is not on your 53-man roster, is because you drafted 2 guys that high. That's the only reason he's not here. So, there is an advantage to being a draft pick. Goody has certainly hit on a bunch of guys. I was talking with Primetime Wollersheim while I was waiting for you guys, and I was surprised that Anthony Johnson got released. I assume they're going to try and get him back on the practice squad, but he played a hell of a lot and was with the ones at different parts of training camp, and so for him to get released was a little bit of a surprise. But again, they've got a lot of young talent, and I'm eager to get the season started. I'm eager to see if they can stay healthy so they can have all these young guys be productive, and I'm eager to see where it takes them.
Jason, I know hindsight is 20/20, but now looking back at what the Packers could have done a few months ago when they got Josh Jacobs, and then when Aaron Jones was still on the roster and it was the best 10 seconds of my life being a Green Bay Packers fan, do you think that Brian Gutekunst is looking back at that just with massive regret? Is that going to be the biggest regret of the season for this team, is letting go of Aaron Jones?
I don't think it may be a regret, but I don't think he regrets it. I think he had made his mind up. This is, again, there's an aspect to this that is a little bit duplicitous because, as you pointed out, those two guys were never going to be on the roster together, ever. And what happened was Goody made him an offer, as opposed to an offer you can't refuse, Goody made him an offer he had to refuse because, I mean, it wasn't as insulting as the offer that Jordy got when they kind of pretended they wanted him back, or the offer that Devontae Adams got when he was already 1 foot and his torso out the door. But the offer they made to Aaron Jones was, hey, this is what it really meant. Hey, we don't really want you, but if you want to come back really cheap, I guess we'll take you back. And once he said no, there was no 1-2 punch of him with Josh Jacobs. I don't think Goody regrets that at all. And I'll be honest, I love Aaron Jones. Authentically great dude. Really enjoyed covering him. I'm guessing with the Vikings, he's probably going to have injury issues, and he's probably not going to match the production he had with 5 straight 100-yard games down the stretch last year.
Jason, that's a great way to end it there. Great stuff as always. We appreciate it.
All right, everybody. Take care. Be good.
That is Jason Wilde. I'm sure he would have loved to have joined us at Ruth's Chris Steakhouse last week because we had a great time out there. In fact, we had such a good time that even some of the technical difficulties we had to work through didn't matter because we were eating steak sandwiches and drinking Coors Light and creme brulee and having a wonderful time out there with Lee over at Ruth's Chris Steakhouse. Whatever the occasion, head out to Ruth's Chris Steakhouse in Middleton. This is Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light.
You're listening to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN, ESPN Madison on YouTube, and Wisconsin On Demand.
If you're looking for a special piece of jewelry for any occasion, Condon Jewelers is always there for you. Condon Jewelers has the best selection of jewelry you'll ever find and guaranteed to have the lowest prices in the Madison area. Free shipping is always available. Visit CondonJeweler.com or call 241-3406 and ask for Jim, the owner, who's at the store every day. Shop locally. Condon Jewelers, the jeweler on the east side, the jeweler on your side.
Hi, it's Eric from Canopy Wealth Management. We're an independent, fee-based firm specializing in customized investment management, tax-aware wealth planning, and personalized client service. We're a steward along your financial journey because you deserve more than a run-of-the-mill experience. Canopy Wealth Management. Care, competence, clarity. It's not just a tagline, it's a promise. Go to canopy-wealth.com to get started today. That's canopy-wealth.com.
Step into nostalgia with the Miller High Life Dive Bar of the Week. Listen to Jim, Matt, and Molly every Thursday to find out where you can enjoy $2 Miller High Lifes. To celebrate our love for dive bars, we are going to tell you about some of our favorites, featuring one extra special dive bar that will have $2 High Lifes on special for the week. Taste the champagne of beer in its natural environment. A delightfully different dive bar in Wisconsin like Hooterville, Jerry's Place, Remington's Tavern, and Wilson's Bar and Grill.
Since J&K Security Solutions opened in 1987, our attention to detail and customer service have been our strongest assets. I'm President Jeffrey Beckman. We'll always do our best to find the most efficient and cost-effective solution to every job we tackle. Whether it's security for your home or business, installing video surveillance, or being able to control your garage doors from your phone, we can help you feel empowered with simple and user-friendly technology. Let's work together to secure your home or business. jksecurity.com.
Ben Brust here to tell you about why your next work van should be from Mercedes-Benz Sprinter at Zimbrick European. First off, we have versatility. The Sprinter vans offer 16 body types and thousands of ways to customize that space. Number 2, we have reliability. Sprinter's most powerful diesel engines last longer and require less maintenance, spend more time on the road and less time in those bays. Number 3, we have safety. Sprinter's safety technologies include curtain airbags all around, load adaptive electronic stability program, and crosswind and attention assist. Number 4, Van Care Mobile. Our maintenance team can come to you with routine service. Who wants to go in? Let them come to you. They work with multiple trucks on one visit. Use the Mercedes Me Connect. And last but not least, get your Zimbrick Sprinter at Zimbrick European at Rimrock Road and the Beltline, or go online at ZimbrickEuropean.com because they never charge over the MSRP.
Hey, it's UW Professor Hannibal Burris. You're listening to Jim, Matt, and Molly on 100.5 ESPN.
This song played at my wedding.
Oh.
When you we moved the garter belt. Is that what it is? Yeah.
Gross. You did that? That always gives me like the
Jim.
biggest heebie-jeebies.
Why are we talking about this on the air right now?
No, please talk about it. It
why?
just gives me like the.
Run your hand. No.
I don't want to yuck somebody's yum.
But it's not that yum.
It just always grosses me out. It's like your
everyone's around.
grandma's watching.
Yeah, but like if you do it like you like it's just like all right. This is Jim Mattenmouth by Coors Light.
Give us the play-by-play.
Yeah.
Well, these are strategies. So you had more of was it a ceremony? Like what was?
I literally went to a courthouse and we went to breakfast or brunch.
Okay,
right after.
that's why I didn't know how much was to it. But there still was. Was there a kiss at the end of this?
Yes.
Okay. What kind of in front of strangers?
No, in front of my dad was there. My mom was on FaceTime because she wasn't able to make it because we did it very last minute. Our kids were there. My in-laws were there. That's
okay,
it.
but then like I'm guessing it's Justice of the Peace or something or someone.
Oh yeah, that dude. Whatever, the judge or whatever.
Some hall monitor.
Yeah. So
Jesse Nelson was there.
I'm a little
In
hurt
his
you didn't
vest.
ask me to be the officiant. I could have easily done that. I am by law can do that.
That
sort of
is
stuff.
true. I might maybe when I renew my vows, but
There you
also
go.
that's
If you
also
have
the kiss of death.
Yes.
So.
Yeah. Nobody's. Well, I think after a certain point, like I renewed like my grandparents-in-law's vows, but it was like 50 years of marriage, so I don't think they were. At that point, you're like, we're whatever.
We're just kissing
Either we're
until
dying,
death.
either we're dying alone or we're just going to stay in this thing. But I'm not saying that was their situation. But the kiss, like we had a discussion my wife and I did before we got married of like we planned our own, or she planned it. I helped write the ceremony. That was my big part of it. Greg Scowls was the officiant of our wedding, and it was much more of a low key thing. It was at the Lose Your Family Heritage Center, out kind of near Christie's Landing, kind of out that way. It's a public park out there. You kind of reserve the space. We were paying for our own wedding, and I was on a programming guy's salary, so like it was we were pinching pennies. But anyways, we had a discussion of like, well, what kind of kiss do you have? So what kind of kiss did you have? Was it like tongue? Was it open mouth? Like what did you do for the? Because it was like a normal kiss. You would not like a goodbye kiss, but it wasn't like anything. It wasn't sexual in the kiss. Like some people go after
Yeah,
it.
no, gross.
So, like,
Ew, I'm out.
Yeah, like it's just not the time or place. Like do that later. Like this is in front of your friends. Your friends and family are here.
Your mom is here. That's
Right.
like how I feel about it. Like, like I said, it gives me the heebie-jeebies.
So it's like a respectable but loving kiss. It's probably like that's ours. That's how I would describe
More than
ours.
a peck,
Yes.
but like not tongue.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. Yeah. And then,
Take that
but
for
that's
that.
how I would describe how like the garter belt removal went. It was like I think it was. It's not like she had it all the way up her thigh there. You know, it was down closer to the knee, so it was a little bit. I mean, there's kids did this thing. It's not like I'm throwing my head under her dress and going to get it.
Sometimes people do though.
No, but
and
some
it
people do.
grosses me out.
I did not. I don't understand. I guess if you have if you are one of those that want to have an adult wedding, which always sounds nefarious when it's adult. What's going on at the wedding? Then I think you can get after a little bit more if that's your thing. But otherwise, like, there's family around, there's kids around. Like, it was more of like, okay, this is the trope. This is part of the wedding. But it was like, I got on my knee and like I took it down from her knee, I believe. It's not like it's not like I was up there. So it was just one of those things.
It just grosses me out.
I'll try to take that personal. But like,
No, not you.
I know.
Not
the way
your
you said it,
wife.
you're like, eh.
Just like
No,
the whole idea of it. I don't know. I don't understand the point of it.
I don't know where it came from. It is a weird wedding tradition, but a lot of times, like that was one of those things where it's like, okay, we're just gonna do this, and so it just kind of popped up. But I think it's mainly because my wife likes that song. She wanted to use that song, so I was like, we can use that song here.
What a man.
So you do like a little walkout and everything.
Yeah.
I don't know. 844-770-3776. How did you kiss your wife at the altar? And where was the position of the garter belt?
Right, it's so uncomfortable.
Ooh, Jim
That was
Rutledge.
actually the perfect time.
Rosie is a honeymoon baby, so
Jamaica, right?
yeah.
The fact that I know these things.
She have dual citizenship?
Not that I'm aware of. I should be careful now of saying where she was conceived, even at this point. But she was born in America, so relax, folks. But I would say that we did always want to get I made a Jamaica kind of onesie for her. We never did. So now
See, but then that makes me uncomfortable because it's like now you're telling people when and where it happened.
It's funny when it's a baby. It's going to be hilarious when I buy her or wear that shirt or something along those lines when she's like 16 or 17. Like that's going to be the funnier part to embarrass her. That's kind of my new plan.
Right.
Is I got to figure out how to make her embarrassed by me and be like and point it out.
You at least have a good story. I don't.
About getting married or
No,
children?
you have a good location, I should say. I have nothing spectacular.
We're gonna.
I wasn't in Jamaica.
Okay.
Were you gonna ask me?
I don't know. I don't know what to ask.
Yeah, where were you going with that, Ryan?
I don't know.
He's single. He needs entertainment.
Oh, right. That reminds
he
me.
needs something to get his juices flowing.
We're gonna. Whoa. Okay. Add that to his list. He likes to know what's going on with everyone. Doesn't like to watch. He likes to listen. JK Security Solutions is locally owned. Tell me how the baby was made. A family-run business that has been part of the Madison community for nearly 40 years. Jeffrey and the whole team at J&K care about making sure your home or business is safe and secure with services ranging from commercial fire detection to commercial security and surveillance. They are dedicated to keeping your business safe. Home services include security and home automation services using Control4. Keep your home and business up to date with our friends at J&K Security Solutions. This is Jim, Matt, and Molly. I got an idea I got to run by Ryan in the break. And we're at least going to share if you would give the thumbs up to the thumbs down to it. But that'll be it. If he gives thumbs up, we'll go deeper into it. But I'll at least tell you if we can have a little radio trope if we're open to it. This is Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light.
This is Jim, Matt, and Molly.
Ryan is absolutely right. I am savage.
We're learning a lot about each other. This is good to know. This is good stuff to know.
Presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN and the ESPN Madison YouTube channel.
For love of the game.
There's nothing like being selected to the Olympic team.
And love of their country.
Championship of that level, gold medal, means more.
Tune into Behind the Bucks on the Bucks Plus Audio Network. Inside stories from Bucks stars on the agony and triumph of competing to win it all at the Olympics. It's Behind the Bucks, presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. Available now on bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, and streaming wherever you get your podcasts.
Discover a new generation of Audi featuring the all-electric Audi e-tron models. You can save $7,500 on select Audi EVs with the AFS EV lease bonus. See dealer for details and exclusions. Eligibility is subject to credit approval through Audi Financial Services. Cannot be combined with national customer credit. Offer expires August 31st of 2024. Stop in and test drive today. The Summer of Audi sales event is here. Check out our website to see our current qualifying inventory. Start your adventure at Zimbrick Audi of Madison today, off the Beltline and Rimrock Road.
When severe weather hits and the power goes out, do you have a plan? For reliable power and peace of mind, propane can do that. It only takes about 10 seconds for a propane-powered generator to restore power to your home. So no matter what Mother Nature has in store, you know you're prepared. Learn more at wipga.org. This message is sponsored by your local propane provider and the Wisconsin Propane Education and Research Council.
Matt Hamilton here for Leinekugels, the craft beer that showcases a commitment to tradition and quality, founded in 1867 in Chippewa Falls, Wisconsin. No matter where I'm at, on the ice, on my boat, or if I'm just watching the big game, I always have a Leine's in my hand. Whether it's the refreshing summer shandy, the smooth honey vice, or my personal favorite, the juicy peach, there's a delicious flavor for every moment. Pick it up wherever you get delicious beer, but remember, you gotta be 21 years or older to enjoy.
Derek Jeter for American Family Insurance.
Life's better when you're under the American Family Insurance roof because they'll help protect your family's dreams. Whether it's a kid like me aiming for the big leagues, future rocket scientist, or a budding prima ballerina, you can count on an American Family Insurance agent to help you dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Welcome back to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN. Also brought to you by J&K Security Solutions.
This song slaps, right?
For show. I didn't know if you were asking me or him.
For show. I think that's from Superbad.
That's one other just common phrase. I don't think that's from a movie.
But I think the way that Jonah Hill, one of the movies he's in that group, he's like like he says it specifically like in that specific tone. I said
Superbad would make sense.
Yeah, I believe it was that. I don't think the song is in Superbad.
It's a great question.
I don't think it is. This is Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light. Let's get to Throwing Stones.
1, 2, 3, up.
Some takes are cooler than others.
You know this kid is as cool as the other side of the pillow.
Some opinions are just cooler than the rest.
That was cooler than being cool. Ice cold.
And if you keep it chill, then it's a cold take.
Chill out.
I'm chill. I'm chill as a cucumber, man.
I'm always the coldest.
This is Throwing Stones, presented by Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's chillest Kia dealership.
Yeah, guys, whether it's hot, cold, or just chill, every host deserves a chance to get out their best take of the day. But, guys, we're running a little tight on time today. We only got about 3 minutes left of the show, so each of you gets 30 seconds to get out your best take of the day. Jim, why don't you go ahead and start now?
All right, and I have a question for Ryan. So I teased this before the break. There's someone that I basically, if I'm on TikTok and you're doing stuff for content on radio, I will follow you. And then I realized that one of the people that I follow is a on-air personality or producer. I'm not sure exactly what for a music station in Green Bay. She posted that she's having a hard time finding a good man. Well, Molly, we have a good man here. So my question to Ryan, and you can consider it as more of, can I just comment on her post and be like, hey, our producer is awesome. He's single and in Madison. Maybe we can make a connection.
Ask her how big her Bumble range is. We'll consider it. All right, Molly, you're next
I'm not
on the
asking
clock.
her that because it feels like I'm being creepy by
Bumble range, does that mean like your radius?
Is she okay with someone from Madison, first of all? She's in Green Bay.
Okay.
But
I
you
mean,
do the
you're
station?
from the Fox Valley
I'm
area.
from the Fox Valley. It doesn't
You
mean
visit
I'm
there?
I visit there because my parents live there, and they're 45 minutes away from Green Bay.
Well, halfway, baby.
I'm not moving to Green Bay.
No,
Molly,
no,
your
no,
30 seconds
no,
starts
nobody's
now.
telling you to move to Green. What? Okay. Muma Jongmeta making the 53-man roster for the Cincinnati Bengals. That's totally awesome. Watching him in college was cool. Now just seeing that actually happen, and yeah, that's super cool.
It is a great story. I did see a lot of people saying, oh, not fast enough for Luke Fickell, but fast enough for the NFL. Not really, though. And I love this story, but he is a special teamer, and the way that the Badgers play defense as opposed to the way the NFL does, that happens a lot where some guy just doesn't fit. And he doesn't play well in space, but he won't have to play in space as much in the NFL. And essentially, he's a special teamer that in a pinch could play linebacker. But he was good enough to be a great special teamer for the Badgers.
Yeah.
It speaks to what Wisconsin has brought in as far as culture and players they recruit, though.
Yeah, it's fun seeing Badgers go to the NFL, and I hope he's successful. So
Yeah.
that'd be cool.
I mean, sometimes you're just not always the right fit for somebody, and who knows if I'll be the right fit for this radio
Lovely
DJ.
woman in Green Bay.
Yeah, in Green Bay.
And all I'm asking is for, honestly, you'd be doing me a favor because I'm on a, you can see people looked at the profile, so this way it explains why I looked at a profile. So I'd love to be like, hey, can we make a love connection?
Can we? Can we talk more about this tomorrow?
We'll talk it in the break.
We'll talk about it tomorrow.
In the break, it's done.
The
After the
show's
show.
over.
Okay.
Molly, you won today.
All right, I'll take it.
I took
Anything
a
Badgers
risk.
related.
I took a risk.
You took an L just to get him a W.
You didn't lose.
You know what I mean?
No,
You didn't lose, Jim. We just have to consider it.
Yeah, no, I was just saying, I took a big chance. That's all.
You did.
Yeah. Go be a winner. Go to Ho Chunk Gaming Madison. Maybe Ryan can go there and win some money, and then he can get his own private jet back and forth to Green Bay. What do you know? Go be a winner. Go to Ho Chunk
Snap.
Gaming Madison. This has been Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light.
With the incredibly spacious 3-row Chevy Traverse,